Did you know the clothes you're wearing right now could actually be making you sick? And if you care about your health, this might be shocking, but unfortunately, most modern clothing contains harmful chemicals.
Clothes contain a wide range of chemicals, some of them potentially hazardous.
And these chemicals, they don't just disappear when you wash the clothes either. They can stick around for years, posing risks to you or whoever's wearing them, causing a host of very serious health problems. Now, what's even worse is that organic clothing brands are mostly just as bad. So in this video, I'll break down the toxic compounds hiding in your clothes, the health risks they bring, and how you can make better, safer choices. Just a little while ago, Andrea and I were doing some baby shopping, just some new clothes and other stuff we needed. And then I also found a nice looking little blanket. It was a woolen blanket from an organic store. So it ticked all the boxes and we didn't think twice and just bought it. Then on the drive home, when I was reading the pretty deceptively hidden label, I found that it contained a hefty portion of polyamide. So it wasn't really a woolen blanket. Anyway, I felt frustrated, yet somehow really not surprised. And you can bet that we turned the car around and returned the blanket. So what was really the problem here? You see, the polyamide in this organic woolen blanket is a fully synthetic material which is made out of nylon, and that is a type of plastic. And regardless, the manufacturer can still call it a woolen blanket, just not 100% woolen blanket, as that would be crossing the line. And the issue with synthetics is that, as a rule of thumb, the more stages of processing a garment has gone through, the more seriously toxic chemicals it has come into contact with. And unfortunately, the systemic nature of many of these toxins makes it nearly impossible for us to wash them out. It's kind of like trying to wash pesticides out of contaminated strawberries. But this isn't an isolated incident. Most of the clothing today, even by the supposedly eco-friendly and conscious brands, can be drenched in these toxic chemicals. These heavy toxins are used in the production to improve the resilience of the clothing, also the color, or for similar reasons. Take these stockings, for example. You can see that they have an organic cotton certification, but when you actually look at the label, the cotton makes up a small part of it. There's also wool, but then you have polyester, polyamide, elastan, polyacryl, basically full of plastic. It's easy to be drawn in by claims of sustainability and eco-friendliness, especially when you're trying to make a responsible choice. When I was shopping for maternity clothes, I stumbled across a brand called Jolly Bump. Their whole pitch revolved around sustainability, claiming to offer eco-responsible and natural maternity essentials. They boasted about using organic cotton, local European production, natural top-of-the-range fibers, and certified eco-friendly fabrics. Sounds great, right? One product that caught my attention was their organic cotton pregnancy leggings. The marketing was full of enticing claims, but as always, the truth was in the fine print. I had to click a small, easy-to-miss details and composition button to find the real story. 83% organic cotton, great, 12% quinoa fiber, and 5% elastane. While I was ready to accept the elastane for stretch, because, maternity clothes, maybe just this once for the sake of comfort, I started wondering what exactly is the quinoa fiber. I'd never heard of it before, so I dug deeper. It turns out that quinoa, which is marketed as an innovative, sustainable, responsible, and environmentally friendly recycled yarn, while having all the certifications one could ask for, is actually in reality just recycled nylon. The same nylon that was in our organic woolen blanket. Nowhere in the production description or on quinoa's own website is this clearly disclosed. Instead, the marketing leans heavily on phrases like natural, eco-friendly, and sustainable. This vague language feels intentionally misleading, and the lack of transparency and reliance on buzzwords left me feeling duped. It's a classic case of health washing and greenwashing, using labels and marketing to make synthetic materials seem harmless or even beneficial. This experience really opened my eyes to how pervasive these practices are. To their credit, Jolly Bump is actually trying to make a difference by offering healthier and more sustainable options compared to many fast fashion brands. However, the lack of transparency around their materials and the reliance on misleading buzzwords left me disappointed. This highlights the importance of questioning even the most well-intentioned brands. And it's not just Jolly Bump. Many so-called modern sustainable fabrics appear great at the first glance, but often hide synthetic components or chemical-intensive production processes. So let's quickly look at some of the known to be harmful chemicals on the screen here that you're exposed to through the clothes you're wearing. It's a huge list and there is actually even more, but I tried grouping them up to the main ones. Now, the issue with being exposed to all of these chemicals is that they all come with their own harmful health effects. These chemicals I listed have been linked to things like weight gain, depression, chronic diseases, hormonal disruption, thyroid disorders, immune system problems, infertility, and even cancer. And since I want to avoid those, I also avoid clothes that contain these substances and make more conscious choices by paying attention to what's in the clothes I wear. So what happens is that these chemicals linger on your clothes and then come into prolonged contact with your skin when you wear them. Then your body absorbs them through direct skin contact, sweat, or even inhalation. And over time, some of these substances accumulate in your body as they are not easily detoxified. Finally, all of this leads to ongoing low-level harm that just adds up over the years, causing or worsening health issues that you'll never be able to figure out or to connect back to the clothing that you're wearing right now. So here are the biggest offenders you definitely want to avoid. We're talking about fabrics that contain chemicals which are known to cause direct harm. So let's zero in on minimizing exposure by identifying the 5 biggest and most obvious fabric offenders. These are the ones you need to avoid first and foremost. Number 1, polyester. By far the most commonly used fabric in clothing today, polyester is derived from petroleum and loaded with residual production chemicals. These can irritate the skin, disrupt hormones, and even cause respiratory issues. Its ability to trap sweat and toxins against your skin makes it even more problematic for your health. Number 2, nylon. Often hiding under names like polyamide, nylon is another petroleum-based fabric. Its production involves heavy use of chemicals, many of which can trigger allergies, skin reactions, and irritation. Additionally, its poor moisture absorption makes it uncomfortable and potentially harmful when worn for extended periods. Number 3, acrylic. Known for being flammable, acrylic is often treated with harmful chemicals that can off-gas or leach into your skin. Prolonged exposure has been linked to issues with skin rashes, respiratory problems, and even potential carcinogenic effects. Number 4, spandex or elastane. Popular in activewear, spandex is prized for its stretchability, but poses serious concerns. The chemicals used in its productions can often cause allergic reactions and long-term skin irritation, especially when worn in tight, sweat-heavy conditions. Number 5, rayon or viscose. While marketed as a natural fabric, rayon's production process actually involves toxic chemicals like carbon disulfide, which can linger in the fibers. This can lead to symptoms such as nausea, headaches, and skin irritation, undermining its natural reputation. So these are the most obvious ones you need to avoid first and foremost. However, even these aren't always clearly disclosed, so you really have to be diligent when shopping for garments. For example, even we, with our noses constantly in labels, were fooled by an organic woolen blanket that was actually majority polyamide. As a general rule, be wary of blends like wool blends or cotton blends and always read the labels carefully to know exactly what you're getting. On that note, I've left a list of some of the other conscious fabrics that you need to watch out for in the description below. These are often marketed as better choices, but upon closer inspection, they fall short. But now that you know what to look out for when shopping for clothes, I'm sure you can imagine it's not a one-off thing. So go watch this video next to find out about all the other potentially harmful toxic chemicals that we are surrounded with and that are hiding in our everyday products.